Today should, could, hopefully will be the day that we get promotion from the 8th tier of English football at Guernsey. Today we take on Wimborne. 3 games left of the season. 1 point is enough today. Wimborne, our rivals, our enemies, and going into this game against them, I stole their best player. If you looked at our league's player stats for man of the matches, there is one person, well actually no, there's 2, who sit on 10 points, but the one who sits at the very top is a Wimborne Town player. Well, was a Wimborne Town player. I have signed Kyle Farquhar. Farquhar, I want to call him Lord Farquhar. Can we just call him Lord Farquhar? I know there was a dodgy company over in Scotland that were like selling lordships as a title. He's from Scotland. If he owns some land in Scotland, he's a lord or something. Can I just call him Lord Farquhar? I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity otherwise. I know some people hate stupid nicknames, so you guys can argue about it in the comments, and we'll make a decision going into next season. But yes, we've signed Carl from Wimborne. I have also signed 2 more players. The first, just a backup goalkeeper. Came to my attention that, well, all my goalkeepers had left during the season, and I hadn't really realised. Sebastian Smith comes in to be a second choice goalkeeper. And there's one more player I've signed from Weymouth. Weymouth are top of the league above us. I'm very excited about this player, but I have just realised we've not yet done the intro. So let's talk about our other signing after this. Whoa, Editing Jack, don't run the intro yet. Folks, I've got a deal for you. You know the deal. We did this deal last weekend. It's not anything dodgy. 5,000 likes for a weekend upload of Park to Prem on Sunday. If you want that, go down below right now. Leave a like. If you want to go in my good books as well, which of course you do right before Christmas, feed the YouTube algorithm with a comment. Now we can run the intro, Editing Jack. Bon appetit. Or whatever. Enjoy the video. Just enjoy the... Why be normal, Jack? Yes, folks, welcome back to Park to Prem. Usually important to do the intro with these kind of series. I know it doesn't really feel like a Park to Prem video otherwise. This is the man we've signed, Zach Atkinson. He is blooming brilliant. We've had an issue out on the left-hand side this year. With respect to Waters, he's good, he's not great. If we compare him to the new man we've signed in Atkinson, he is a monumental upgrade. This man is 18 years old. We've signed him from Weymouth. He's already played for 4 clubs during his very brief footballing career. He may well be our best player. I absolutely adore him. Has anyone spotted the issue? I signed him and he's already played for 2 teams this year. So, yeah, he can't actually play for us. Right now, he can't play as a left winger, so we're training him there. He will be ready and raring to go for the new season. I was a little bit concerned when we signed him a month or so ago now that he wasn't going to be happy with the lack of first-team football. Naturally, I can't do anything about that because we have to wait for the new season to play him. Good news, kind of. He was out for 3 weeks with an injury lately, so I'm hoping that's going to alleviate any possible anger he could have about lack of playing time. When we're able to register everyone, field a full strength team, at least right now, this would be the current strongest best 11. Atkinson would come into the team. I think Kyle would come into the team as well. I know Shutayo's been amazing, and I did make him the highest earner just yesterday, but when you look at the overall balance, Kyle is just a much better player. Probably should also acknowledge the fact Kyle is also on £160 a week. But with promotional but booked in, I thought that would be fine. And of course, he is going to make his debut today, Kyle, who is right up there, you can see, with 27 goals for Wimborne, against Wimborne. That's right, his debut for us is at home against his former club. If we could beat them here, there is still a world in which the pre-season favourites to challenge us at the top don't even make the playoffs. I'd quite like that to happen. Last episode, of course, we had a little bit of a scare to things. So, good news, we've been pretty good since then. 1 defeat in this run of games. Today's plan of attack is to get promotion, see Kyle score against his former club, lift a trophy, go to the end of season, cover all the end of season stuff, and set ourselves up for a weekend upload that will be a transfer special. So after beating Moneyfields 3-2, we got a draw against Exmouth 1-1 to end the month of February. From there, a really strong showing in March. Melksham beaten 1-0. A draw against Horndean, not ideal, but at the end of the day, we avoided defeat. 2 convincing wins followed. First was against Bridgewater, who are bottom of the league. We won this one 3-1. Forbes on fire in this game, and well, Forbes made it 7 goals in 2 games as he scored 4 against Poulton Rovers. And with 4 goals scored here, he is now the top goal scorer in our team. Forbes and Shutayo have been going head-to-head this year. As much as they have a lovely partnership together, they are also battling to be the main man. And of course, with Kyle now thrown in the mix, I have got 3 top-quality strikers, which I'm going to be honest, it's quite a good problem to have. With 3 games left of the season, I think Forbes is going to pip Shatayo in, well, just about every single category. So after Forbes scored 7 goals in 2 games, he took a much-deserved rest as we beat Sholing 1-0. And then from there, we've been a little bit meh. In this month, 1 win, 1 defeat, 1 draw. I feel like with us pulling away at the top of the table, we've maybe taken our foot off the gas a little bit. I say that. We did beat Barnstable 3-0. Dylan Crowe scored 2 in this game. He could have got 2 goal of the season contenders here. The first might well win it. He won the ball, carried it forward, in off the crossbar, made it 1-0. And it was just the Dylan Crowe show in this game. He ended up with 2 goals. The one in between, not a classic by comparison, but a good finish by Forbes nevertheless. That came in the 63rd minute. And with not long left in the game, Crowe got another. A free kick that he took only half cleared. He picked the ball up in acres of space, cut inside, pulled the trigger, in off the post. Yeah, it was a good day for the Dylan Crowe fans out there. I will say, this season, he has only got 10 yellow cards. He got 3 and 3 to start the year at centre mid. Since he's moved to the wing-back area, he has been better behaved. I say all of that, he's literally suspended for today's game, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. The only defeat we had in this run of games came against Bristol Manor Farm. We lost to the Farmers. We are literally in a Farmers League. I might have stolen that from the YouTube comments. This was an unfortunate game. We were the better team in it. I would be more annoyed about it if it wasn't for the fact we're so far clear at the top of the table. But generally speaking, when you get a 3.42 XG, failed to score, Dylan Crowe missed a penalty in the 6th minute, not a great day at the office. I should be more annoyed about this, but I'm just not. Most recently, a 1-1 draw against Larkhall. They'll feel disappointed because Larkhall have dropped outside the playoffs. Of course, it wasn't that long ago that them and Wimborne were directly behind us. They have both fallen off a lot. And in fact, Moneyfield, who we beat, you might remember 3-2 in the previous game, they're on a little bit of a mission right now. They were newly promoted to this league from the 9th tier. They're in 2nd. They are, I think, just about, yeah, they are mathematically in the playoffs this year. I take that back. I can't do maths. They're 8 points clear. There's 9 points left, but they should make the playoffs. So like I already said, a chance to win the league here. A draw is enough, but I'd like to win emphatically, especially against Wimborne. I don't like Wimborne. I've talked about it a lot. Irrational hatred. I've stolen their best player. If Kyle doesn't score today, is he a waste of money? Potentially. Team selection for this game is fairly standard. I say that, knowing that Dylan Crowe's not available. Waters, of course, holds down his spot at left back because Zach Atkinson, who will be the starting left mid next year, is not available. I am actually mind blown we were able to sign this guy from Weymouth. He was playing a bit of a squad role for them. Of course, they are top of the league above us. He was doing a pretty good job in their division. I want to believe he'll be an equally useful part of our team when we get promoted. It's not if we get promoted, it's when we get promoted now. Unfortunately, we have to wait to play with him. It's like when you buy a Christmas present early for yourself and you have to wait for Christmas to actually use it. Am I the only person who buys Christmas presents for themselves? I mean, in place of other people, but you know the deal. I feel like people know what I'm talking about. I'm not that crazy. This isn't this weird, right? Right? In the final third, we have the Lord himself playing alongside Forbes, at least for now. Shatayo drops to the bench. This might be an unpopular decision. I'd love to know, between Shatayo, Forbes and Kyle, who would you be playing? Who is the correct players to pick in a front two when you have 3 strikers this good? I suppose we don't really know a lot about Kyle. He was doing really well for Wimborne. His form for them has been largely amazing. At 18 years old, the future is bright with him. Potential to be a League 2 player. I've got to just keep him in the team, right? And I've not even talked about it, consistent performer. At this level, 14 finishing, that kind of consistency, some good acceleration, it's a very good combo. We have just spent about 5 minutes of today's episode hyping him up, so inevitably now, it'll be a 0-0 draw and he'll do absolutely nothing against his former team. We are going to hope that we can get a convincing victory here. If we manage that, league is wrapped up, and with it, Wimborne might be potentially out of the playoff running. I say that, they would still have to lose or at least drop a few more points, but we could send them on a downward spiral here. Their recent form hasn't been great. We've stolen their best striker. This is their first game without him. I'm predicting it now, 3-0 win. Flanagan with a free kick. The centre mid is going to float it towards Williams, who gets his header on it, and Scotty Williams, this might be one of the last times we see him in a live com, the Welsh centre-back. One of the first signings we made, a star player who still hasn't signed a new contract. Get him to sign on the dotted line. I don't know how we're going to do it, but that is going to be a mission for this summer. Flanagan back post. Williams is there. A whole host of players actually queuing up at the back post, but we find a breakthrough inside the first 2 minutes. That is what we want to see. I say all of that, now they've got their own free kick. Is this just going to turn into the battle of the free kicks? Potentially, but we've dealt with that one well. And now Kyle, the former Wimborne Town man, he's picked up the ball. If he runs all the way and scores here, it'd be the best debut ever. Where's he going? He doesn't know, I don't know. Forbes, wide area. Kyle is in the middle. He's lurking away. He gets his header on it. And it's just wide. 3 minutes into this game, we've had 2 highlights, 1 goal. Oh, if he doesn't score, like I've already said, I'm going to be disappointed. I did mention it in a pinned comment yesterday. Apologies for my weird camera issues in yesterday's video. It was going all wobbly. That's technical terminology for it. It should be fine today. If it's not fine today, I'm going to cry. Vaughan on the far side, throw-in taken short to him. He's going to cross it into Johnson, who hits it. Livingston's there. Kai Livingston gets his 3rd goal of the season. I think 2 of those have come in live commentaries. He's really wheeling away to celebrate with the linesman. Clearly, the linesman is one of our fans. That's the only logical explanation. It's 2-0. Vaughan crossed it in here. I thought for a second Johnson, the right-back, was going to pull the trigger. Maybe that was a shot. We'll never know. Unselfish, I think, the pass. And Kai was there for a pretty simple tap-in. Wimborne Town must really hate us. They were predicted to be right up there winning the league at the start of the summer last year. We signed a load of new players and went ahead of them. They started this season well, but ultimately they've just not been able to keep up with our own pace. And now, as they're trying to fight away for a playoff spot, I have stolen their best player for absolutely nothing. Like, the fans must be fuming. They must absolutely detest me. Maybe they'll hate the new striker that we've signed even more, though, if he was to get a goal here. Flanagan, holding up the play, gives it to Kyle Livingston, the goal scorer. Forbes is inside, should pass inside, gives it to Kyle Farquhar, and I'll tell you what, the Lord, he has scored. The Lord dances. Look at him, he's doing a cartwheel. In this situation, I thought Livingston was just going to play it short to Forbes, but he saw a pass that I did not. The run time to perfection. It's 3-0 here. I mean, I wouldn't mind damaging Wimborne's goal difference a little. I don't want to alarm the Wimborne ultras out there. You've not had a shot on target inside the first half an hour. And your current strikers, not doing very well. I realised with that last speech, I'm talking to Wimborne fans directly there. There is one Wimborne Town fan watching this video who's just got a solitary tear running down their cheek. I don't care about your feelings, I'm sorry. I'm very mean to Wimborne Town. I don't know what Wimborne Town did to me. They've changed me. Lower league football does this to a man. I mean, they could get a goal back here. Armstrong, inside to Whittingham. The number 10, one-on-one. Can he finish it? Probably Karma. Half-time, 3-1 up. Took the chances that came our way. After we got the first, we've not created a lot since, but it's not going to concern me too much. At least at the moment, we're in a pretty controlling position. Of course, if they get one more back, it's like money fields all over again and I'll start to panic. But with Kyle Livingston running the show on the far side, that right wing has been all him. We should really back ourselves to get 1 or 2 more. And well, I would have backed Forbes to get one there. Potentially put my mortgage on it. Glad I didn't. And you know what? He's missed that chance. Shatayo can come on. Shatayo, go and get golden boot if you want it. Maybe I'll give them 45 minutes each as they battle to be the top goal scorer. Shatayo, unfamiliar position on off the bench. Hopefully he's okay with being rotated. As long as he doesn't do an interview with Piers Morgan, I'm fine. When we were 3 goals up after 21 minutes, I was getting carried away. In my head, I was imagining 10-0. It's not quite played out that way. We've not had a highlight since the Forbes miss in this half. And with 15 minutes left, well, maybe there is a 4th goal to come. Watters is going to cut inside on his right foot. The left winger, who might have a limited shelf life now with Atkinson coming in. But if he scores at the end of this, maybe I'll reconsider. Keeper makes a really good stop, but that would have been some goal. Have just made a couple of subs, rotating things in the midfield. Toby Down is going to come in, and Medine is going to come in at centre mid for Flanagan. Nothing too crazy going off there, just taking players off. We've had a bit of a quiet game, and, well, in Williams' case, on a booking at centre-back. The last thing I want now is to go down a man. I don't want a repeat of last episode. If they get one back, I'll start getting a sense of deja vu, potentially. Armstrong takes it down, pulls the trigger. Get me out. I don't want this. I'll just end the game 3-2. We did okay dealing with this initial crossing. It was Williams, who's not yet been subbed off, but is about to come off. That will be his final action, that header, who nodded it away. Unfortunately, straight to the path of Armstrong, who's tucked it in. Not the best goalkeeping. 6 minutes left. I'm not panicking, I swear, but I am just going to change things up slightly. You might notice as well, Waters playing as a winger on attack. Given the fact that I think that's how I'm going to line up next year, when we get our brand spanking new winger in on that left-hand side, I kind of want to test it now into the new season, even if it's slightly suboptimal for Waters. In terms of build-up play here, we're going to slow things down, time waste. Let's just kill off this game. I am also just going to go into balance. Not cautious today, I'm at a balanced mood. There is 1 minute of added time, I think, here. I'm not sure why it's not shown in the top left. I feel like maybe we should be a bit nervous. Livingston is cutting inside from the right wing. Waters is there to pick up the pieces. Sells his man, goes inside. He's right-footed, but he's going to have to take on his seconds left. It's saved. I don't know if that was a pass. Shatayo fakes a shot. He hits it. It's cleared off the line, and I don't know how that's not gone in. 20 seconds left of this game. Nolan doing some great time waste. He's just holding on to the ball. He doesn't need to throw it. He's killed 10 seconds here already. If we're at the World Cup, we'd be playing 20 minutes of added time right now. This is how long is he going to hold on to the ball for? He got 20 seconds off the clock there. You got to rate that from Nolan at left back. That might be the best thing he's ever done in Guernsey colours. He's not been the best left back in the world. And the ball's whipped in. Carl's not going to get there, but it does not matter. And there it is. It's confirmed. The Pyros are out. With a lovely backdrop of an empty stand, we're going to hoist a trophy aloft, our first trophy as Guernsey manager. Drink it in. Enjoy it. The trophy's going to be lifted, and with it, we are promoted. We are going to be playing in the 7th tier next year. We are 1 tier away from the Vanarama National North and South, just to put it in a bit of wider context. This season, we've done exactly what we needed to do, and in this match here, we did exactly what we needed to do as well. Kyle didn't quite get man of the match in this game, sadly. Livingston managed to nip in ahead of him and get an 8.4. Shameful. He should have misplaced a pass or two at the end to ensure that Kyle got it. Told all the players I'm very happy. They are happy too. Elsewhere, Moneyfields actually dropped points in this game. Elsewhere, Cinderford got a win. Wimborne still in the playoffs for now, but we've only an 8 goal difference, and now without their star striker, maybe they can finish outside the top 5. That's what I want to happen now. Big moment here, folks. Budget set for next year. Our current wage budget is around £3,000, so anything more than that would be nice. Not anticipating any transfer budget. Moment of truth, the big reveal. Boom. Wage budget of 4,800, transfer budget of £0. What does that mean? It means that we've got about £1,500 a week more to spend next year than we had this year. And with that, I want to believe we can challenge at least for the playoffs again next year. Obviously, we played earlier on this year Truro, who are still, I believe, right up there in the league. We can have a little look. They are currently 2nd in the league, so they were a good team. We only lost to them 1-0. So with the new additions we brought in, with a young squad that's only getting better, I want to believe we'll be in that top 5 maybe next year. That's the dream. The board are delighted, and suddenly all the players who were unhappy about being at the club, they're all happy as Larry now. Now they all want to stay around. Very suspect, that, isn't it? We were the key match of the day. It was a party atmosphere. 782 fans as well. I feel like that's more than we were getting last year. This year we had 36 more season ticket holders than the previous year. Hopefully that number's just going to continue to rise now. We have got 2 games left of the season over the course of the next 3 weeks, but given the fact we've wrapped up the title, I'm going to go to the end of season awards. We're going to enjoy things, have a party. I'll join you guys to discuss the plan for next season, do a little bit of build up towards the transfer special, see what the board are expecting of us, and also maybe discuss the fact we're nearly £100,000 in the red. Maybe I should be a bit more worried about the balance than I am, but today's not that day to worry. So we are at the end of the season. Mission failed. Wimborne have made the playoffs. Our final 2 games of the season, a win and a draw. I'll be honest, I just kind of picked a team and hit play and didn't pay that much attention because we're up. We're just partying for the last 3 weeks. But good news, we're now here with the end of season review. And, well, we actually have a trophy here, which is nice to see. The Southern League Cup Division 1 South. I'm not going to miss saying that. It's an absolute mouthful. Now, I will say, Kyle did get 2 goals in the last 2 games of the season, so fair play to him, and he got a B+, despite only playing 3 games. I don't understand. Kind of surprised, but Purcell actually picked up Player of the Season in the eyes of the fans, or at least signing of the season, but I suppose when you look at the fact he got a 7.44 rating as a centre-back, it becomes more understanding. Elsewhere, Livingston put in a handful of good performances. In terms of new signings playing games, you can see here, Matthew Nolan, our left back, kind of an unsung hero, expert time waster, left back and right back, 17 years old, love the versatility. This year, he played 36 of 38 games. And for the people wondering where previous key man Carlos Canher is, he is just vibing in Portugal. We lost him on a free transfer. He didn't want to renew his contract, and I can't really blame him. He's now on £550. He got 2 goals this season, enjoying his life down in the south of Europe. Of course, in terms of team performance in the cup competitions, not exactly a classic year. I think we actually did better than the board were expecting in most of these, but apparently the expectations were rather low. Biggest win of the season was a 4-0 win against Mangotsfield. Forbes got a hat-trick in that one, and he also got 2 goals in the match to remember. A 2-0 win away from home against Wimborne. This was a really, really important game, you might remember, that we did just a couple of days ago now in an episode. A game which I think really defined our season. If we'd lost this game back in December, then the season would have been very different. Somewhat unsurprising, no major rep changes this year. Turns out getting a title win down this low doesn't really change your standing in terms of the world of football. From a financial point of view, though, good to see more competition money. Our match day income actually increased, you can see, by close to £100,000 this year. Some of that was the pre-season friendly, but also just naturally having a few more fans turning up to games makes a difference. And in terms of shirt sales, apparently Kyle, who joined us, 3 matches ago, he sold the most shirts. I guess the fans are really excited about him joining from Wimborne. I don't know either. In terms of how we lined up, here is what I think is undisputably the best team of the year when it comes to our squad. Of course, Forbes, Shatayo up top. In the end, Forbes did edge out Shatayo with 31 goals to Shatayo's 30. Is Shatayo washed? Answers on a postcard. Vaughan in the midfield getting a 7.09. That is fantastic, isn't it? I'll tell you what's less fantastic. He broke his foot in the penultimate game of the season against Hamworthy United. He's out for 3 to 4 months. He might not be back for the start of next season. Yeah, that's not ideal. A whole host of records broken by Shatayo and Forbes. In the end, fans player of the season, young player of the season, both went to Forbes. So, yeah, clearly the fans prefer Forbes over Shatayo, despite the fact he did get the most assists and the most player of the matches. It was not enough. And Pascal, who I already mentioned getting signing of the season, also had the most passes completed per 90. Apparently he completed 54 passes. I feel like that's on the low side. All in all, though, a really good season this year. We came into it predicted to win the league, having been moved divisions kind of in terms of region. And in a weaker league, I think we thrived in the end. 12 points clear at the top. A rather comfortable season. Our supporter profile show no changes this year, but we did gain 32 followers on social media. Get in there. That's what I get for shouting out my Twitter last episode. At work the space, by the way. I realise this is the club's social media, not my personal account. Club vision for next year, fairly straightforward. Going up into the 7th tier, the expectation is to get a top half finish in the regional Premier Division. That is definitely something I think we can achieve. I'm anticipating we'll be promoted into the Southern League Premier South. There are actually 4 divisions at this level. There is the Southern Premier League South, there's the Southern Premier League Central, there's the Northern Premier League. If we go into this one, stuff has gone wrong. And there's also the Isthmian League, which is the league that, had we been promoted from last year's league, we probably would have gone into this one. The league structure at this level is very chaotic, though. So like I already said, I am planning this weekend to do a transfer special previous to how we did last weekend. You guys really seem to enjoy that. So if you really want to see that on Sunday, rather than waiting an extra day, 5,000 likes, just as a little reminder. In terms of the team and where I think we're going to be heading towards, I think we actually have a very good squad. With Atkinson and Farquhar coming into the team, we've added some undeniable quality. With Vaughan out injured, there's maybe a little bit of a concern there. If we look strictly at star ratings, I think maybe we're looking at a new right mid, maybe a new centre mid to play alongside Vaughan once he's back in the team. Nolan, who is a very, very good player for this level, might struggle a little bit if we move up a division, although apparently he is a regional Premier Division standard player. That probably puts into context things, really, doesn't it? A 3-star player in our team is good enough for the league above us. I mean, when you consider that, we have the core of a team ready for promotion. I'm certainly not expecting as much of an overhaul as the last kind of 24 months, but when I look at the team, there's room for improvement. Maybe a left back, potentially a goalkeeper. Mackenzie Lyle wasn't incredible this year, had a really good season last year. This year a bit so yeah, maybe a goalkeeper's what we need. I don't know, maybe let me know in the comments what you think I should be adding, but on the face of it, I think we've got a team that should be competitive in the new division, and I think with Kyle now in the team, if he can continue to improve and put in the performances he's put in at the tier we're currently at, he is going to be a superstar for our team. Anyway, that concludes season number 2 here at Guernsey. What a season it's been. Finally, we're out of this division. We're going to be getting promoted. I talked about the finances already. They're continuing to get in the red. We're going to have to sort out some big friendlies against big teams like we did last year to try and help things out. Of course, last summer, there was rumours of a board takeover. Not heard anything on that since, so let's assume that there won't be a takeover. Knowing my luck, I'll come back for a transfer special and be under transfer embargo or something. If you're excited for season number 3, drop a like on the video. I'll see you guys very, very soon for the start of that season. A transfer special brews. I hope you're excited. I am. Until next time, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.